God doesn't love you. The dentist doesn't love you.
Yeah, no, he's gotten, and see, this is how cool I am, man. The gay thing does not bother me. And I know, hey, look, I've been accused by the whole city of Austin of being gay. So if that does not,
you are pretty cool for that.
I don't care, man. I know. It's like, I figured like, hey, look, here's the deal. If you're not gay, and you're not against homosexuality, you're not gonna freak out. No, like I'm not a homophobe. I'm a straight man. I'm not gonna be like, ooh, no, I ain't gay. And I like, you know.
Here's my deal. I always think only the gays know if you're really gay or not. Honestly.
And that's the thing. That's what's so scary about the gays. Well, I shouldn't say scary because I don't want to make it seem like homosexuality is wrong, but that's the thing. It was the gay community that said, oh, it's going to come out soon.
Oh, they told that to you?
No, they told that to Leon.
Oh, okay.
I think I told you before. Leon went to it was the owner or manager of Austin Books. Who's gay. You know Austin Books on 6th Street. Yeah, going towards Lamar. So, Leon was talking to that guy one day and,
wait, should we even be saying this? Is this out? Is he out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course.
I always have to ask.
I'm not outing somebody that doesn't want.
No.
Wait, he is now.
Okay. All right. What? Somebody out there.
But he told Leon. Yeah. No, it was back when he was doing the Access show. And he told Leon. He said, "So how long has Korey been gay?" And Leon was like, "Korey is not gay." And he's like, "Really?" And he's like, "What? Who thinks Korey's gay?" He's like, everybody.
Everyone.
And he's like, everyone. He's like, what do you mean by everyone?
Yeah.
And he's like, let's just put it this way. The whole gay community here in Austin says it's not a matter of if Korey's coming out. It's just a matter of when.
Oh, wow.
I was like, and he told me about that. I was like, hey, keep waiting.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. If it ever happens, I'll be the first to tell you. But you know,
I will be shocked, Korey. If that ever happens, not to say that's going to happen, thing. But if for some reason, let's say 10 years down the road, that just happens. My whole life has been a lie.
No, see, that's the thing. You know me. Anybody knows me well knows.
And I always felt bad for you in those situations, even though I did kind of chuckle at times. Where somebody would go, or just, kind of get across the idea, hey, are you gay or something? I can tell it really bothers you, which, because obviously you're not. So yeah, it's going to bother you. I've seen you bothered by it. I've seen you get upset over it. But it's always that situation. I was like, man, what can I do to at least help Korey out to let him know, hey, dude,
there's been 2 cases.
I know you're not gay.
Yeah. There's been 2 cases.
Get out of here.
You faggot.
You faggot. Now get out of here. Yeah.
Boot.
Yeah. You're not
man,
gay.
get the gay boot.
You're not gay.
You go. Now put these cutoffs on and go wash my car. Yeah. No, man, there's only been 2 situations where it's bothered me. Is the main situation where it's bothered me is when somebody has thought, just being convinced, and I don't know what did it. I really don't know because maybe I was nice or something, maybe the way I was dressed, I don't know. But I knew somebody was gay and never brought it up, never said anything. And because I don't sit up there and like, hey, you gay? Either they are, they're not. They'll tell me when they're ready. But there's been some people who took that as me being so cool with them, like, oh, well, he must have some tendencies too. And so there's been a couple of situations where they have like embraced me, like physically, like touched me, hugged me and things like that. And wouldn't let go or put their hands like on my hips or certain things like that. And I never freaked out. I just had to like hold my composure and be like, hey, I think you got the wrong idea.
Yeah, you got the wrong guy.
I'm not one of those guys like, get the fuck off me. I'm not. Who cares, man? I just like, let them down gently, like, hey.
It's cool that you can keep your cool like that. Where obviously there's always, articles in the paper where guys who either get called out on or they get touched, something always terrible happens.
Yeah, somebody gets a fist to the face. Get beat down.
Where a lot of times I'm like, okay, there's people, despite if regardless if you're gay or not, you should know how to just be courteous around other people and not to do certain things. Like I was at this one place and I had this guy actually like grab me.
I remember you told me that.
Yeah, and to where where this guy had a family. He had a wife and 2 and several kids. And I was like, and I was and he was an old guy too. He was old. And I was just like, whoa, what the fuck? And, I just looked at him like, and he looked at me like, oh, I bet you like, because how it started is he was looking at me and he was like telling me, I made a comment about some girl that walked by, and he's like, oh, I bet you like all the girls, all the hot girls. And he like reached under me and grabbed my fucking balls. And I was just like, whoa. And I just jumped back and I looked at him like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, come on. And I was like, no. Hey, dude, don't ever do that. All right. That's not cool. All right. He's like, look, and he was like, whoa, you can hit me. He made some gesture like that. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna fucking hit you. Don't give me an excuse right now.
I'm going to stab you.
Yeah, I was like, I'll give you a nice slap across the face like a bitch. No, but I was like, no, dude. But I just looked at him, and the thing is, I worked with the guy for about a year and a half. So I looked at him, I was like, hey, dude, you're lucky right now because just don't do that to anybody. It's like, I don't go around grabbing chicks by their fucking vagina. Just don't do that because you know what? One of these days you're gonna do that to the wrong person. And it's not going to be pretty, Yeah, and then it's almost like you got to tell people how to act.
Yeah,
but I would have told that to a fucking guy who grabs a girl's tit just because they want to. I mean,
there's a difference between like somebody who's like kind of like trying to like ease in and like test the waters, and to somebody just like. Fucking just grabbing.
Right, right. And the thing is, the guy.
Yeah, there's a difference between like easing to the door and busting the door down.
I know. Where it's like I don't know. I'm like, it made me wonder too because there was another guy there who was gay that I just worked with him a lot, so we just became friends. And I didn't give a shit. When I started working this place, they all came out and told me, "Hey, just to let you know, a majority of the people that work here are gay. So if we start talking about anything that makes you feel uncomfortable,
get the fuck out.
Just let." Fuck you. I was waiting for them to say, "Get the fuck out." No, they just said, "Hey, just let us know," because there's times. I mean, even though we're guys, we're still guys. Just like if we were hanging out talking about fucking pussy and fucking tits, I mean, they're still guys, so we'll get pretty graphic. I'm like, hey, you know what? I don't give a shit. I was like, you talk about all you want, just don't touch me. Just don't grab me. And I was joking, and he's like, oh, you seem cool. But there was a situation where I was helping out with this one guy, and he started telling me his problems with his boyfriend, where I was like, I didn't know what to do because he's telling me about his boyfriend and he's asking me for advice, and I'm like, dude, you're asking the wrong guy. I don't know, because you know what, guys and girls are very different. So
you'd be surprised, man.
I helped him out a little bit, but I mean, I was like, look, man, I don't know your situation, but look, if you care about the guy, you tell him this, whatever. And then I just moved on.
You tell him that.
Yeah, and I was like, and you move on now. Let's get this.
You know what you should have been like? You should have been like in The Color Purple when Whoopi Goldberg was when Harpo came in to ask Whoopi Goldberg, he's like, my wife, his wife was Oprah Winfrey. He came in, he's like, my wife, she acting crazy. I don't know what to do. And Whoopi Goldberg was like, beat her.
beat him good and be rid of him.
And got his ass whooped.
Well, the
told that guy that beat him.
The thing about this conversation, though, is like 1 second we're talking about a relationship, and fucking out of the blue, he turns the conversation to, have you ever had a blowjob? Like, obviously you've had a blowjob. I'm like, by a woman? Sure. And he was like, have you ever had it by a guy, or have you ever been curious about having it by a guy? And I was like, no, not at all. I'm like, look, I'm sorry. I just don't find males attractive. That gene is not in me at all, ever. I don't even like standing close to a guy when I'm taking a piss. And it's not because I just feel I like my privacy. I'm a very private person. And he was like, well, if you ever were interested,
call me.
Let me know. And I looked at him because we were friends, and I was like, dude, do you know how fucking weird that sounds? Just you saying that right now. I know and I had to tell him, like, dude, I wouldn't even tell my closest female friend, hey, have you ever had your vagina licked? If you're ever looking for some like action like that, let me know. And I was just like, why did you just tell me that? That makes,
hey, you know what?
Weird.
I realize now, because I've had so many of these encounters where like I've been invited over to men's houses under the
thinking that you want to hang out.
Yeah.
Right.
Under the impression that we were just going to hang out, have some beers and whatnot. Right. I mean, this has happened to me like about 2 or 3 times, just going over there and hanging out. Yeah. And two, I know clearly. It was one guy named, well, I shouldn't say his name, but we were supposed to hang out at his place and go out.
Yeah.
but we never went out. And then he started asking me kind of similar questions like you were getting asked, and I had to tell him like, wow, man, wow, you know, I think you really got the wrong ideas. Like, I was like, I'm not gay, man. And I didn't even get up and leave. I just like, hey, we can still hang. You know, you want a beer? I'm just gonna check this fucking glass to make sure you don't put goddamn roofie anything in it.
Hey, you gotta be smart about it.
Yeah, you know, it's
smart.
Getting a
check everything.
Date rape situation.
Make sure you didn't touch any envelopes.
Yeah, shit, end up putting my ass down the well like like Loyal, Silence of the Lambs and shit.
Yeah, just run.
But you know, we were cool, and even after the thing is, after I told him we were out in his driveway, and I said, "All right, man, good night." And you know, and he wanted to hug, and even then, I hugged him, and I like, you know, gave him a bro hug. And after we, you know, after I like finished, I was trying to back off, and he had his hands on my hip, and I was just like, "Whoa!" It's like, man, dude, hadn't changed. Yeah, it's like the last hour.
What do I got to bash it in your head?
Yeah. The other thing was a guy that I met when I was working at the Capitol, and this dude, I mean, he was, and usually, I mean, you know, a lot of black males, that's the thing. A lot of black males are very careful about it because, you know, there's a lot of real bad homophobia in the black community. So I don't really expect it from a lot of men, but, you know, I got it from this guy. He invited me over, and he's like, hey, man, you want to come over and hang out sometime? And I'm just like, yeah, man. So he's like, hey, man, you know, you blaze? And I was like,
oh, no.
Like, you smoke weed. And I was like, well, you know, so what you want to do? And he's like, oh, man, I thought we could just hang out, you know. And he's like, come on back here and let's talk. And then we went and lay down on his bed, and it was one of those things where it's like, I sat on the bed, he laid down. And it was kind of like the point I'm bringing up these two stories.
Right.
Is this.
You got to finish that story, though. You can't leave us hanging at, I sat on the bed, he laid down. What?
He smoked weed, and I smoked dick, and,
no, he thought it was a bong. He drugged you.
No, the way it ended was, it was simple. It wasn't that big a deal. He's laying down. He was waiting to see how comfortable I would get and lay down too, and I never laid down. Okay. I never did anything. I just like, hey, man, you know, eventually I just said, well, hey, you know, let's go get a beer and sit on the porch or something. And you could tell the disappointment is, I was like, almost had him.
Damn.
But my point is with these two stories, it relates back to what you were saying too. I see a lot of this, what's going on is what girls go through a lot, which is another reason why I don't get upset, because the girls get this shit all the time from guys. Guys just come up and they, you know, you think you're friends with them, because I've been guilty of this, thinking I'm, you know, girl thinks she's friends with me, and I'm the one that's like, hey, girl, you know, shit, you said hi to me. That means we've been a fight.
That means you're in love.
Yeah. Hey, look, I know how. I think it's all, you know, I look at it this way. It's karma, man. For everything that I put a girl through doing the shit that I've done, it's come back on me this way, and I don't even get mad about like ho hum.
I used to be that way until I saw this Chopsaki film where this guy just got into a fight. Right, they're at a restaurant. He orders like some fish-eyed noodles for his eyes. Like, I want to have fish-eyed noodles. And he sees this girl, and he's with his two buddies. And the girl kind of looks up at him and just looks down and starts eating her food. And his friend's like, hey, that girl was looking at you. And the guy's like, oh, yeah? And he's like, yeah, I think she likes you. So he's like, oh, really? So he runs over to the
Three Stooges episode.
It might as well have been. He runs over to the table. He's like, hey, I saw you looking over at me. When a girl looks at a guy, that means she likes him.
You know what's making me laugh about this? Is that you were really doing it in the voice that they do for those movies when they dub it over.
Yeah.
Hey, I heard you like me. It's all off and everything.
It is, and I was laughing my ass because the guy's like,
how'd go?
You were looking at me just like the girls in the novels. when they like a guy, they always smile. He's like, and then he goes, how about you let me buy your food and you let me touch those buns? He gets his hands, he starts
got his ass whooped, didn't he?
Yes, and he
See, that's the thing. And he's awesome. those chop-saki movies, every bitch knows how to fight.
Oh, yeah.
Don't do it. Don't touch him.
And the funny thing is, as soon as she slapped the shit out of that guy, his friends come and grab him, and the guy's looking at his friends like, what are you guys doing? Beat her up.
Go get her.
Yeah. But I mean,
you're not a real man.
Anyway, the movie I'm talking about is called Daggers 8. By the way, if you just happen to come across that title, fucking rent it. That movie is badass.
AKA a bitch beat my ass.
Exactly. But
for putting my hands where I shouldn't have.
Yeah. But getting back to the whole gay thing.
Gay thing.
Hanging out. Okay, the guy who propositioned me for the blowjob. He was a big black guy, and they called him Queen Latifah around there. But
you know what? You told the story on this show one time where that guy like propositioned you.
Oh well, that's the dude. Well, okay, that was the guy who wanted. He was like, if you ever want a blowjob, you come to me. And I'm like,
I like the way you put that.
No.
Hey, you ever want a blowjob? You come see me.
Yeah.
You got it. Here's my card.
This is a big this guy was like 6'5". I mean, he was huge. He could have been a fucking wrestler.
You know what? You're lucky. He said, you're lucky he asked. You're lucky he didn't come up to you and say, hey, you know what you need? A blowjob from me.
Yeah. Get over here. I run away. Fucking penis comes out and grabs me. Oh, God.
Get over here.
I used to like gays.
That cat from the Bruce Lee movies there. You try to run away. Fight. Get over here.
Finish him.
Blow.
God.
Blotality.
But the thing is, like when you're talking about the guys wanting to just hang out, a buddy of ours, who ours? Well, no, not of ours. No, not of ours. I'm sorry. Me and the black dude.
Oh.
A buddy of me and Queen Latifah's who worked there.
Black and Mac blowjob.
He for the longest time, like that. It's another guy who had a wife, kids. He had 2 kids. He had 2 boys, and one day he was like, "Hey man, let's." He was a Mexican, and he was like, "Hey man, let's fucking go hang out sometime. Go shoot some pool." I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude!" It's like we hardly ever hang out.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we hardly ever hang out. Let's go drink some beers, shoot some pool, let's fucking just hang out. And as soon as he went out the door, Queen Latifah comes up to me and goes, "Now, you know he's gay, right?" And I was like, "Get the fuck out of here! What are you talking about? He's not gay. He has a wife and 2 kids." And he looked at me. He's like, "That doesn't mean jack shit. No, he's gay. We hang out. He's my friend, and believe me, he's gay." And I was like,
he needed a blowjob, and I gave it to him.
So I'm like, well, if you're coming over to me telling me this, I can only assume that he has other intentions that he may have either told you about, or you're just presuming this because maybe you got jealous. I couldn't tell, and I was like, God damn it! And I was just thinking, well, now what do I do? And I was like, well, I just told the guy to go fucking hang out with him, but
you go hang out with him?
Well, I was like, are you sure he's fucking gay? I mean, he has a wife and 2 kids. And he's like, yeah, but he's been in the closet for I don't know how long. And I was like, well, that sucks. And I was like, so is that fucking pervert over there? And I pointed to the old guy who we also worked with, who grabbed me. I was like, so is that fucking pervert over there? And he looked at me, he just walked away.
Hey.
And I was like, it made me really think. I was like, wow, you at least for me, I guess I don't have my gaydar out all the time, but you just don't know really. I mean,
people talk about it.
Not that it's all important. I mean, it was never all that important, but it just made me really think, like, working in that situation made me really open my eyes to just that gay community, and honestly, a lot of the shit that they go through as far as like hiding who they really are. Because I was also thinking, it's like, wow, if these gay people are really gay and they're living this lifestyle that is not really them, I'm like, how do you go through life like you're kind of living a lie? I mean, you pretty much are in a way. If your wife and kids don't know that you are gay, I can only imagine. I can't imagine what that does to your head.
Imagine a time where blacks are being discriminated against, and they could, I don't know, like they're the X-Men. All of a sudden, every black person got a mutant gene, or some black people got a mutant gene where they could automatically turn themselves white.
Yeah.
But being black to them was really important. They had to come out and be black at certain times.
Right.
And do you think they wouldn't do it?
Yeah.
That's the thing about gay people, man.
Yeah.
The thing about being gay is like you can hide it.
Yeah.
But you can't hide who you are.
Yeah, you can't hide it forever.
And it can't stay in.
I mean, you can say that with anyone, just like the whole Sandra Bullock, Jesse James thing, where you're like, no, I was telling a girl, I was like, look, if you're fucking, if you're
you want a beer, by the way?
Oh, sure.
I'm gonna stop you. I got a beer. I'm gonna wait for you to finish. I'm gonna let people know.
I'm like,
I'm gonna cut up the air conditioner too.
Okay. I was like, if you're just a douchebag and you cheat constantly, it's only a matter of time till you can keep up that act until you get caught, and. I mean, especially if you're in the public eye like that, how do you just expect not ever to get caught to live that way?
The only thing I would say is like with gay people, with them, I don't care what anybody says. It's not a choice. For them. I mean, there's no.
Yeah,
way,
I don't believe it's a choice either.
There's no way you'd like go through all that shit just because you want to fuck. I mean, that's what people boil it down to.
Right.
They just think it's a physical thing. They're just horny. People want to fuck, and it's like, no.
I've had an argument with a friend of mine it wasn't even an argument where I was just like, he was giving me his reasons, and I was just like, I just can't buy into it, especially even if it depends on the two different sexes, where it's a guy and a girl, where, girls, I've known plenty of girls who wanted to experiment or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, if you're experimenting, if you're just kissing or whatever, that's fine. That really
if you're
doesn't
doing
mean
it because
anything.
It's a trend
but
or something?
Yeah, which I can see that, because, when girls are younger, they're very impressionable, especially when they're watching fucking Sex and the City.
Yeah,
but
and they get the sense, when two girls in a bar start kissing and shit, if it's two dumb girls, they're getting the attention of all the guys in the room.
Just doing it just to do it, yeah.
Yeah, just to do it. But, like a lot of people, it's not just a physical thing. It's like there's an emotional level to it, too. It's like if you really love somebody, you can't help it. I mean, that's not a choice. You love who you love. Right. I mean, and that's been my biggest thing with people too. Cause look, I can boil it down to a physical thing myself. If you told me like, hey, you know what? You have a choice here. You can, either not ever have sex again, or I can take this crowbar and bust you in your fucking shins. I'd be like, go ahead and bust me in my shins, cause I'm gonna have sex again. All right. Yeah. I guess the question is if you can never have sex with a woman again, because I know I'm straight and I know what I want, and they'd be like, if you can never have sex with women again, you have a choice. Never have sex with women again, and let me like fucking nail your foot to the floor. I'd be like, you know what? Nail my foot to the floor for a little bit. That goes to show you how much I want to be with this particular gender.
Yeah, call me Jesus and nail me to whatever you.
Yeah, you crucify my ass as long as you let me down and let me live to fuck again a woman. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. It's like I don't think like these gay men out there, like or gay women or anybody out there, like putting up with all this persecution, all of the what would you say? What the fuck am I trying to?
I'm trying to. Like,
you trying to like listen to me? Just leave me hanging right here.
I don't know.
Like 10 minutes later,
I was really trying
like
hard.
You, Grant.
I had my computer going in my head, like.
I'm driving you crazy.
Fill in the blank.
I was just all of a sudden
self-esteem.
I'm breaking down. No, I mean everything. The laws don't protect them.
Yeah, no, that's true.
They have nothing. Progression's being made, but really, it's still hard to be a gay person. I don't think anybody would want to like have that. Maybe they want to do it for a little while, just to like. Be like, I want to know what it's like to live as an outsider. I want to be persecuted for once in my life,
Who wants that?
But and then I can tell you what, once it was done, be like those fucking hippies in the 60s talking about how they want equal rights and they want freedom and how they want to be all about free love in the world and we love everybody. Yeah, motherfucker, until the real world kicks in and you need a job and mom ain't paying and dad ain't paying those bills no more.
The real world can really... do a fucking.
You gonna go right back to being a middle class, upper class person who's gonna like have all the privileges, and that's it. All this fucking hippie shit you get.
Stay out of jail.
You gonna be an upper.
That shit gets expensive.
Yeah, they ain't gonna give a fuck about anybody, And so
once you realize nobody's out to help you, then you start to go, well, fuck everybody else.
Yeah, shit, I'm going back where it's safe.
Getting in trouble for this.
Man, you want some?
All right, are we still recording?
Yeah, we're still recording. Entertain the people.
Oh, damn it.